I'm still fighting with the crop of this image. Also, I want to make this smaller so I can see the chat. Okay. I'm thinking because I need to know the final crop in order to do like a more general liquify of the arm especially. Okay, so let me show you what I've been doing for the last hour. I sent the photographer the work in progress and he sent me markup with corrections. Hello, hola. So these are the corrections. I'm gonna put it over all. There we go. So most of the corrections have already been addressed. I still need to do some dodging and burning here. I think that's what he meant because his handwriting is quite difficult to read. Line, remove scar, okay. Tiny little things in the lips, still there, haven't done it. I have done the nose and the tiny little things here. Blotchiness in the ear. So when a photographer comes back with the corrections, I usually look at them all and I do the ones I agree I do first. So I evened out the hair. And I remove the tiny hairs connecting the eyebrow to the head. Remove the lines here. I didn't remove the scar because I couldn't see it. I'm gonna do it now, and also the bits in the lips and the highlight here. I don't really know what it is, so I think he's right. There was one correction that I didn't agree with the photographer. I was waiting for him to be online. And that correction was there was some dark spots in the cheekbone, and he wanted me to remove them, the dark spots. So instead of removing them, what I did was paint more darkness around the dark marks because I didn't want to lose that shadow. And if I removed the darkness from the cheekbone, then I would have removed the shadow or lessened the shadow. And I didn't want to do that because I love this shape. I did add a bit of darkness here. Let me show you. See? So this wouldn't be so marked. So that way I can keep the cheekbone and the strong highlight, I remove it and it doesn't create a problem anymore. Now, why am I saying this? Because when a client sends you corrections, you don't automatically need to do everything that he's asking. Sometimes they are right. Yes, everyone will get the PSD. Well, everyone who is there at the end of today, because I'm going to finish it now. I'm going to sharpen it and show you how I sharpen images, and then I will save the PSD and upload it as soon as the the session is over. So is the photographer online? How can I see here? Right? Yes. So he's not. So I really wanted to ask him. No, for help? Sorry, Russell. What do you mean noise layer for help? What would the noise do? In my help, I have saturation, desaturating, and in mode color, and also a curve. In this case, going up because she's black, so I need to see more in order to do more. I think he also marked some hairs, dark spots, darken. Oh, okay, wait, that's new. He wants me to darken the edge. I think that would make the head too round. I'm gonna try anyway, but I'm gonna try in another, not in my normal Dodge and Burn. So that's what I've been doing before I got online. I've been addressing the comments. So again, you don't always do exactly what the photographer asks, but always try to understand where they are coming from. Yeah, only this part, but I don't know, I think it's gonna separate the hair too much from the skin. I don't know, might look weird, like painted, you know, but I'm gonna do it anyway and see. When I'm not sure, I do it and look at it. So anyway, you don't always have to do exactly what the client says, but you always have to figure out where they are coming from with the correction. For example, when he pointed me at the spots and said remove the dark spots, I know the dark spots are a bother, but I'm not gonna make them lighter. So darkening around still solves what the photographer is seeing, but it doesn't interrupt the flow of the shadow as I wanted. What about the dark spot on her forehead? No, that's a shape. That's a shape shadow, and I'm not gonna remove it. That's the shape of her forehead, and I quite like it actually. I think she's got such a strong bone structure. I don't want to do anything to change it. So, oh, now I see it. Yeah, that works. Let's see it without the... No, I don't usually blend it unless unless it's a bad shadow, you know, it's a shadow created by something else. But in this case, it's the shape of her head, and if I remove it, then she's gonna look like a balloon. Like her forehead is just gonna look round, and her forehead is not really round. Yeah, I'm still not sure about removing the... I think it makes the beginning of the hair too perfect and fake, but I'm gonna wait for the photographer to argue. Not smoking. What else did I do? I fixed the nails from yesterday to today. Some of the nails were not like absolutely perfect. Yeah, actually in the beginning of these sessions, I did this and I said, this is what you absolutely shouldn't remove. The shadows that you shouldn't remove are red, and the highlights that you shouldn't remove are blue. Yeah, so yeah, no, that's bone structure. If I get rid of this shadow or this highlight, then I lose the shape of her. I did remove the highlights in the nose, for example. See? And I removed highlight going vertical. Can you mark it up? Can you make a screen grab and send it to me on Facebook so I know what you mean? He also marked a highlight here that I agree and took it out. What else? Oh, the little spots. I haven't removed the little spots. And after that, I'm going to sharpen the image and show you how I do it. So let me see how many people are online, so I can do it when everyone is here. So where's the chat? So I pause. Okay, so I don't know how to pause it, so I'm just going to put the volume down. Okay. Also, I'm looking at purple line here that I'm also going to remove. One very important part about cloning and healing that I was talking to a friend retoucher today, if when you're done cloning your image looks less texturated than before, then you did it wrong. Let me show you. For example, when I removed the hair here, the black hair, the before and the after, right? In the after, it looks even more texturated than the before. If this doesn't happen, then you did it wrong. I wonder why that is. Will, maybe someone told me to put down the bit rate, and I did, and it worked. He was helping me figure out the lagging and fix it. So Will is the photographer, by the way, Will Clark, and I was explaining to people that I did most of the corrections that you address. Let's turn them on, right? So I removed the line and the lines here. I need to still blend this highlight a little more and remove the scar. But some things I didn't agree with. So for example, this dark line is actually the separation between the bone and the highlight. So if I remove it, it's just a big highlight and it's not gonna look right. And then the other one was you mark the two dark spots in the chin, in the cheekbone. So I didn't remove them, but I darkened around them so they wouldn't be noticeable. Because if I removed the shadows, the dark spots in the cheekbone, it would make the shadow lighter and it would lose some of the depth. So instead of doing that, I made everything around it darker. Let me show you. See? So now I get to keep the depth of my cheekbone. Yeah, Daniel, but I like it. I don't think skin should be completely even, because then um, you lose reality. um, I want her to still be human, flawless but human. I did fix the hair like you asked, and removed the, I think it was an extra nail from the back. The light in the nose and here, and the blotchiness in the ear, all of that is fixed. So I think I was now fixing the mouth, and I think I need to lift this dark line. So I'm gonna go to tiny color corrections. Just put some red into it. Because it's kind of purple. And now, yes, almost always. When you clone, do you always use 100%? Yes. Most of the times I'm replacing texture completely. If you use less than 100% opacity, you're kind of blurring skin, because you're cloning 50% of a texture and putting it on top of 50% of a different texture. So that's not gonna give you a sharp result. You know, you're already blending textures. So I'm gonna do another correction. This time down, and also more red. I don't know if you can see through the screen, but some parts are like lighter and more desaturated in the lips, so I'm fixing that. Maybe the two together. Yeah, see? You can see it now. No se modifica la dureza en realidad. Lo que pasa que cuanto más chico cuanto más chico el pincel, menos esfumado va a estar, porque tenés menos píxeles, digamos. No se puede hacer un píxel que tenga 3 píxeles y 7 de blur, ¿entendés? Well, I think carving, right, is fixing bad photography. And I think the depth in her face is plenty as it is now. I don't think it needs to be any more. Wait, I need you to type not so fast. I can't read and do. I don't think it's as much taste as it is what's in and what is not in. So 10 years ago, really, blow up dolls, perfect, shiny, and all shaped up was in. But now natural shapes are in, natural bone structures are in, less retouching is in. So, well, actually not less, but less noticeable retouching, which ironically usually takes more time. So getting rid of the scar. Let's see if he marked something. I don't know what you mark here. I think I already removed it. Let me take a look at that screen graph to see highlight that you meant. No, that's a part of it. I mean, Daniel was talking about this highlight going up. But the thing is, that highlight going up is actually marking this triangle, which is a part of the bone structure that I don't want to get rid. If I remove this, then instead of being a triangle, it's gonna be like this. And I don't want that. I haven't seen Pratik's work lately. Like, seriously, it's been probably 2 years since I last seen his portfolio, so I have no idea what he's doing now. And Amy Dresser has been out of style for like 20 years, so I don't think she counts. So that's my point. It's not about taste, it's about trends. So if you wanna be a retoucher, you need to stay on top of the trends. And right now is clean, beautiful, and natural. That's it. And really contrasty and blow up shapes, it's not in right now at all. You just have to pick up magazines. I have no idea, but the style that Amy Dresser used to do when we started, yeah, if you do that now, you don't work. At least not in editorial. I mean, in commercial photography, maybe, like advertising. Yeah, but that's mostly what she did in every image. I'm not criticizing, it's just different era. Things changed. So, Will, do you see anything else? Or should I sharpen and pack the PSD so people can see it? Yeah, it was around 3 hours. I mean, you need to count down the time that I spent looking at the chat or explaining things. I could see a line from the far in the nose, like here, where I'm retouching. Oh, by the way, I said Amy wasn't active. Like I said, I don't know what Pratik's been up to at all. Like, really, at all. We haven't spoken. I think the last time we spoke is because we both got screwed by the same photographer. I think that was the last time we spoke. Okay, so let's sharpen the baby up. Okay, so we don't need this. There we go. Sharpening. Cry. Oh, yeah, I know. There's a funny story about that. It turned out, when I came out with my DVD 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago. So I wasn't into the business. I mean, I didn't want to be a teacher. Like, that never crossed my mind. Someone literally called me on the phone and offered me money to do a DVD, and I didn't have any money then, so I was like, sure, let's make it. I never knew that it would be, well, viral. And when it came out, it came to my attention because people started writing me from all over that Gry Garnes had been working on a DVD for like 2 years, and mine came out first, and it was horrible for her, because for her it wasn't, for me it was a stupid thing that I did. Like, it meant nothing to me. It wasn't my goal in life, to put out a DVD. Someone gave me money and I did it. It wasn't deep or meaningful for me. And she had been working on her material for years, and mine came out first, and I felt awful, because if I would have known, then I would have postponed the coming out of mine until she was done. I'm not sure if the producer knew, because Vitaly was, I think he passed away too. Vitaly was very business smart, so he probably knew, but I didn't. And I remember I sent her an email saying, do you want me to, like, watch your DVD and do a review, like open free review of your DVD? And you can do the same with mine, so it doesn't, like, people don't see us as competition. And I started doing that. I started like, okay, so mine is beginning to end by Gry, covers techniques separately, so it's a different kind of learning. Every time people spoke to me, I kept trying to sell Gry Garner's DVD. it was a funny time. Anyway, I felt really bad that mine came out first. I really didn't mean it. Anyway, so I don't know if you noticed, but I always take sharpness out when I convert images. I take the sharpening out completely, because I really dislike the sharpening, how it looks on skin. This kind of square, pixel, broken detail, I don't like it at all. So I take the image soft into Photoshop. Well, there's no way to make this soft. I mean, the lighting and lens used are really good for this crop, so it's still sharp. Oh, by the way, I also added texture. Where? There, see? Because the highlight stopped, so I needed highlight texture down here, so I added it. I copied it from up and put it down. That's the other thing I did when I was offline, on top of fixing the nails. And also I added yellow to the highlights, because that's I needed more yellow. I have enough red, enough blue, but I needed a bit more yellow. Okay, so let's close this and let's sharpen the image. Someone asked a question. What is the process of saving an image for social media? We'll be right there. Daniel, I have no idea how long it took me. I didn't time it. Channel mixer. Oh, about that. Bythy. I don't know. I guess you saw Kruno doing this. Like that. To help you, or this. Oh. Right? Yeah, don't do any of that. Because what you want is an accurate representation of the luminosity of the image to dodge and burn. And if you change the channel mixer, or if you change the black and white settings, then you don't have an accurate representation of the light and shadow in the image. You have a different gradient. So you're not dodging and burning the actual gradient of the image. You're dodging and burning a gradient that doesn't exist, that you created by mixing the channels or by altering the red and the yellows, you know? Okay, so I remember, Daniel, that I have 2 other images that I need to match with this one, and I need the red. So making it darker, like, you mean, wait, not that. I could put it in luminosity and just darken the red. Yeah, I don't like it too much. I like this. This is a good balance. So far, this is what we got. So sharpening. I like to control my sharpening. Most sharpening methods in Photoshop are high pass based. So I'm going to show you something. So a high pass. A high pass is actually an inverted blur. I'm sure that most people know this by now, but I like explaining the process. So in the old age, when you wanted to sharpen an image, you would literally dodge and burn, expose the edges of the photograph with a mask, a literal mask, by the way. But then someone figured out that if you put the negative of an image over the image, then you get blacked out, right? You get black, you get nothing. But if you blur the negative with liquid, right? You blur it, you move it, then edges start to appear, and the edges are not black, they are white or gray. It depends on how much difference there is between the original image and negative, the new blur negative. So that's a high pass. So a high pass is this. Is the negative of the image blur. Or actually, a high pass should be this, okay? But it's not, because whoever created the high pass added contrast to the high pass, so it would be better for sharpening, okay? So it's not exactly the opposite of a blur, but if it's the opposite of a blur plus 50% contrast. So this is a high pass. The problem with high pass is that it's based on Gaussian blur. And the problem with Gaussian blur is that the edges get blurred with Gaussian blur. So the edge of my ear is here. See? So now I have all this, and when this is inverted, it's going to be a halo. Hola, Jeremy. Okay, so instead of using a high pass that is based on Gaussian blur, I'm going to use the same method. So I'm going to invert the image, put it in 50% opacity, and instead of using a Gaussian blur, I'm going to use a surface blur, because the surface blur is going to keep the edges intact. Also, surface blur has two settings, radius and threshold. So the radius will define the size of the detail that I want to enhance. It can be very small detail only, or if I move it up, it can be small detail plus a bit of the edge. And if I move it even more up, then I can have the small detail, the edges, and the shadows and highlights all in the same sharpening. Now the threshold is the depth of the effect. So the smaller the depth, the smaller the threshold, the less deep the effect will be. See? So it's keeping the highlights and the midtones and leaving the shadows out. See? Almost completely. So the threshold will make for the strength of the effect. So there's no setting, because you need to be looking at the image, and it really depends on the size of the image and the desired effect that you want. Median actually creates a really weird texture, so it's not linear like surface blur or Gaussian blur or radius blur, you know. Median does something different, so it cannot be used for sharpening. Lydia, don't worry, because I was only explaining the history of high pass. So now these are the steps for sharpening. Too much? Never. It depends. I'm not gonna use it on the entire image. I'm just showing how I sharp. Well, it depends who joins the chat. Okay, now I make another stamp, and this is gonna be my sharpening. This was done with, what was the setting? Wait, 7452. 7452. So you know that. And now I'm gonna blend it with a contrast blending mode. Okay. So again, I'm not gonna use this everywhere. But I'm gonna show you something else. So this is strong enough. Now, if you want it even stronger, you can clip a curve to it and increase the contrast. See? just noticed there's like two blue things here that I'm gonna fix. It was the same thing that was in the lip. There we go. Okay, so you can increase the power of the highlights with this, and also you can, for example, remove the shadows so you can sharpen only the highlights. Come on. Like that. So the shadows don't get sharpened, but the highlights do. So it really depends on what you want. Now, I'm going to use it very selectively, for example, here. Some parts where I cloned lost a bit of detail. I'm gonna use it a bit on the nose, on the eye. I'm painting on 5%, yeah. Remember what I said? I don't know, Daniel, if you were here yesterday, but I told them if you're gonna ruin the image, do it slowly. I would rather paint like several times and not go over too fast. Like here, here. So I'm going around the image checking if places have less texture than other places. I would never sharpen the hands. Her hands are like really, really sharp. Yeah, I think I'm gonna lift the highlights of the detail in the eyelashes. There we go. So this is sharpening. Because I'm not painting everywhere with the same opacity. I'm not using 100% or 50% everywhere. So if I lower the opacity, I would have to correct the parts that I didn't want to correct. Okay, and finally, sorry for the train. I'm going to add some grain. I really like select all. I really like the grain from Capture, so I'm just gonna create a 50% gray file. Grain. And now I'm gonna open this file in Capture One. Oh, I saved it as a PSD. So I have the exact same file size. Come on. And I'm going to add some soft grain. Let's zoom in and see the grain around. Less grain, more amount. There we go. That's it. And now I open this in Photoshop, well, edit in Photoshop. And I'm gonna keep this grain file to put on top of all of the images. Let's see how it looks on the actual image. See, it's very noticeable. Maybe a bit less. I like that. There we go. So everyone happy? I have no idea, Daniel. I haven't used Adobe Camera Raw in 20 years, so I have no idea how Adobe Camera Raw grain looks like. Okay, so I'm gonna save this, but I'm gonna save it for me, and then I'm gonna take it to 8-bit so it is not so heavy. And also I'm gonna well, but I don't need to. I like Capture One. Adobe doesn't pay me, so I also have grain, like scanned grain that I use sometimes, but lately I'm digging the grain from Capture. I'm gonna be playing Fortnite later, Jeremy. You could log in and play with me. Also, I'm gonna make the image size smaller. 5,000. So let's make it. Yeah, but Capture One is really good. It's worth paying for. Okay, still saving. only for the color is worth paying for. Well, you could give it a try. You didn't even try it. You try it like twice. Fortnite. No. Pepi, porque cuando trabajas en 16 bits arriesgas mucho menos a generar banding cuando estás haciendo curvas, por ejemplo. Trabajar en 8 bits para mí es una locura. Es una locura porque tenés un montón de riesgo de generar problemas que no están en la imagen y los estás generando vos por trabajar en un espacio tan chico. Una profundidad de bit tan chica. Ok, vamos a salvar esto. Small. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna upload it when I'm done, so it doesn't. Oh no, I need to do it now because otherwise. There we go. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is yes, sorry, I was reading the chat and I got distracted. Okay, so now I have the other two images. So I need yellow into this one. You are working with a lot less range of colors. So you could have a lot of, but the point is, why work in 8 bits? What's the point? If you know that 16 bits is better, why work in 8 bits? Russell, most of the times images that I work on don't have any noise. Noise is produced for lack of light. So most of the times I don't need to use noise reduction. No, 32 is not better because you are a lot more limited in the amount of stuff you can do in 32 bits. But you are not limited in the amount of things you can do with 16. It's the same that you can do with 8. Oh, Daniel, I would have assumed you knew this. Because one thing is to convert in the end, because it's already done and you're not moving it anymore. But if you work in 8, then when you move something, when you are in the process, you are moving less range of colors. So you could create issues. Converting in the end to 8 bits is not going to create issues. Because you're not doing anything further that moment when you convert. The problem, the difference between 8 and 16 beats is not how it looks. It's gonna look the same, it's gonna print the same, it's exactly the same. The difference is in the process. So when you're in the process of doing things, I don't understand the question. Can lost the gradients on the 8 beats widths? Yeah, don't understand. Can you rephrase that? Or can you say it in Spanish? Le facum. Decirlo en español, más fácil. So red. Like this. Purple, red. Yes, so it would have to be color can be this. The blue needs to be a lot more, a lot less cyan. And a lot less saturation. Okay, so is the argument over? Okay, RKP. Okay, look, if that is happening to you, okay, it's because you're using colors that are out of gamma. Look, so this is, sorry, let's go back to 16 bits. There. Okay, so now I'm 16 bits. So this is the image in 16 bits, okay? Look at this. I'm gonna duplicate, flatten, export, save for web. You said when you convert, the images look dull. So embed color profile, convert to sRGB. Do you do it like this? Do you embed the color profile? Let's make it 2000. There we go. And save. Web. There we go. Now let's put them side by side. Okay. What's the difference? Do you see the difference? RKP. Nikita, how long have you been retouching? Because when I was working on 8 beats, it took me around 3 years to realize how shitty working in 8 bits was, because I started getting a lot of issues. The more I did with the images, the more problems I had. There is no difference. That's your monitor. Let's put one on top of the other in difference mode. There is no difference. You don't have to trust your eyes. Okay? There shouldn't be any difference converting from 16 bits to sRGB, as long as you do it right. RKP, it doesn't matter where you do it from, but how you do it. So if you convert and then you embed the profile separately, because you need to do it separately, then it's right, it's gonna look the same. Okay, so I think the transfer is not done. It's not gonna be done for ages. Oh, that's the train. Hola, Maxi. Okay, so the other two. So this one is just gonna be just red and cyan, so like this. Yeah, I have no place to put greens, so there, split complement, so the highlights are gonna be a bit greenish. So the skin needs to be a lot more red, like the other one. I'm actually going to use the same adjustment. Oh, I don't see the... Maxi, Jeremy did the same exact joke, so you're late. Okay, so tones match, and now I need to put the yellow in the highlights. And here. Get rid of it on the eyes and teeth. let's make the blue and the red pop. I want to separate the red of the makeup from the skin. So I'm gonna try separate it with a mask. See if that works. Nope. The other way around. Nope. Okay, let's try this. Red, more magenta and less yellow. Neutral, more yellow. Magenta, more magenta, less yellow. Yellow, more yellow, less magenta. Okay, let's try now. Okay, that's better. I'm trying to create contrast in case you don't know what I'm doing between the makeup and the skin to be able to create a mask. And by that, I'm separating the colors, okay? This kind of works. Okay. So sorry, I'm masking, so I'm not looking at the questions right now. Okay. There, I'm back. No, RK. What's your name? Arcade Paint Images. What's your name? Hello. The chat is not updating. too much on the lips. But I like it on the eyes. Oh yes, I'm removing because I did it on the other image already, so I already know what to do. By the way, RK Paint Images never told me their name, right? I already did it on the other image. So I already know what to do. There's some red spots on the skin, so I was correcting that because I want to see. I'm not going to retouch the 3 images. I'm only going to see how they look with the tones done. Oh, bad brain star. I'm about to be finished. I told everyone that you weren't here. Gracias, Marcos. Okay, so let's see it now. So we need to change this blue. How? Because I already have the yellow in the highlights. Okay, something like that could work. But I do need to change the blue, the cyan. Yeah, the highlights. And I think the nails. Oh, actually I could, sorry, I'm thinking. I could leave the cyan as they are, actually make them a bit more green. Yeah, there we go. I like it, I like it. Yeah. Okay. And just make the nails light blue. Oh, the makeup artist is so gonna hate me. Or maybe white with a light blue tint. Oh, I like that. Anything is better than this orange, that's for sure. Max, just just don't tell the makeup artist who I am. See if that works. More blue. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. Okay, now it works. Now the 3 words. What do you think? So I'm not gonna retouch this because otherwise you're always looking at the same set. For my next streaming, I'm gonna do a different set, or I don't know. I'll ask tomorrow. It's tomorrow, so this daily thing is quite some work. So if you have any ideas of what I should do tomorrow, hey, RK Pay, you never told me your name. What's your name? Natalia? Really? So long. Is she still there? My God, Niena, that was your nickname in DeviantArt. That's so weird. Oh, too many people. Yeah, you're still there. Hola! Well, you went to the army in the middle of it. It's not my fault. You will not believe. He's 180. He's like taller than me now. Wait, give me 1 second. Lolo! Lolo! He's lovely, by the way. Lolo! Oh yeah, the PSD. Here.
Okay.
Vení.
No.
No, es un segundo porque Natalia te conoce de cuando eras bebé, ¿entendés? Y me dice, ¿cómo está Lolo? Le digo, hace como 10 años que no hablamos. Acerca tu cachete a la cámara, sí, hola. Estás re lindo. Hola, sí, mirá. Espera que todavía no apareces.
Hola.
¿Todavía no apareces? Ah, ya apareciste porque
Ya aparecí,
después vas a
boluda.
aparecer, claro. No te ves todavía, mirá.
Qué pena.
I have to lift the camera.
No.
Okay, sorry, he Le facum. Es que en realidad no perder imágenes, no perder textura en las imágenes es justamente tener cuidado al clonar, o sea, clonar la imagen con muchísimo respeto, asegurarte de que cuando terminas de clonar haya más textura y no menos. Esta podría serla. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 6. Ok, ¿me quieren ver clonando esta parte de esta mejilla que está bastante hecha, bastante mala? Do you wanna see me doing this cheek? Okay, you don't really care, right? I could say, do you want to like see me doing and then follow that sentence with anything else, and you would say yes, right? It really doesn't matter. Yeah, I thought so. Um, Samsonite. Yes, the streaming will be available later. Um, yeah, you need that, exactly that. Shaha Facebook. You need to save in like convert to sRGB and embed the sRGB profile. Otherwise, every browser is just going to read whatever profile they like, and if someone opens it in Photoshop or in preview, it's just gonna show up with the profile they have. So you need to embed the profile, so whatever thing is being used to open the image reads it right. No, you can convert and then embed in two different steps. Save for web is just better because you can do it all in the same window. Um, Gracias, Marcos. I have no idea who you are. Do I have you on Facebook? Everyone got the PSD link? Because it's going up. So PSD link. Yes, but I like Save for Web because you can control other settings. If you want to use Save JPEG, as long as you convert to sRGB and embed the profile, then yes, it's the same. Okay, so let's see that. Let's see how you get textured images. Okay, so you start with a textured image. There's no way to get texture where texture is not there. Okay? So you can't sharpen what is not there to begin with. I can't believe you actually want me to clone again. Okay, so I need to make this smaller. Put this here. Okay, there we go. So I can clone and look at you at the same time. So again, the key of ending up with really good textured images is to clone properly, never lose texture, and afterwards you can sharpen only good texture. Also, it's not only about like always cloning light, because if you keep cloning light out, then you're gonna expand the original highlight. So you need to see cloning as drawing. So you're basically recreating, yeah, I fucked up. You're basically recreating the area with good texture. Like I said yesterday, undoing is most of what I do when I'm cloning. So don't keep working if something doesn't look good. The thought process when cloning should be, does it look better? Yeah, then I keep going. I'm I'm not gonna go too much down. Wow, she's got shitty skin. I remember when I saw these images, um, someone actually posted in the comments, "Can you believe she has no makeup?" And I thought, yeah, I can. I really, really can. Yes, it would be a lot easier to retouch if she had makeup on. It's not something to be proud of that she has no makeup. Okay, people, chat, because if you chat, I get points. I need to get 100 people chatting at the same time. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. You're not chatting. Sure. Cool. No, I convert first from 16 to 8, and then save for web. But if I don't convert first, it's still gonna do it automatically because you can't have a normal JPEG that is 16 bits. I remember they try. Remember JPEG 2000? What's the point? Why do you want a 16-bit JPEG? So again, sorry, maybe I mixed it up. Shah Facebook. I do it first. I convert to 8 bits, but I think it's a habit. If you don't, the save for web is still gonna do it for you automatically. No, you're forgetting embed profile. Paula, definitely. I mean, unless you're a drag, then no, it's the same. But most people don't want to be wearing so much makeup when they go to the supermarket. But you're asking the wrong question. I don't I don't even wear makeup like this, like the eyeliner. That's it. That's all I wear because I want to have like skin when I'm 70. Pepi, Pepi, you weren't here the other 2 days. I think frequency separation is overkill most of the times. and is especially bad if you're learning. If you're learning, you should learn to do this, what I'm doing now, correctly, and then use any shortcut you want. Wow, is this... Shahaf. Thank you. But you do realize you made it complicated, right? Like RK Pay, which is not, he's not telling me his name yet. Is your name secret? RK Pay? KRKP? It's really hard for me to answer you every time. I'm gonna call you Tom. So RKP, you're gonna be Tom, okay? So if I say Tom, that's you. Time depends on the kind of retouch and the output. For example, I did some images for Henkel, you know, the brand for hair, and each image took me 3 days. Oh, no, now you're Tom, because you didn't tell me your name the 6 times I asked. Yeah, that's the thing. Basically, if it's for your portfolio, you take as much time as you need to make it as good as you want it to be. That's pretty much it. And then if it's work, then it depends on what you agree with the client. Because if you agreed for basic cleanup, of course you're not going to do this. Or if it's only for web. But my advice generally, wow, my advice generally is that you always work as if it's for your portfolio. It doesn't matter how much you're getting paid. Because, well, I mean, given the image is good. If the image is bad, I don't care. Paint on it, add noise, okay? But if the image is good, then always work as if it was for you, not for a client. Because that's gonna help you create a portfolio really quickly. I fucked up. And it's gonna be better for you in the long run. But an image like this, it's the same as the other one. I see some areas without nice texture, so I'm gonna change to darken and just add some, or normal actually. I have to do normal. Let's do this. And here. There we go. Shahab, you shouldn't have direct light behind you, and your room should have neutral light. That's okay. So I think I'm gonna leave this line for dodging and burning. Oh, thank you, Jeremy. That's the technical explanation. Wow, this is hell. I mean, lovely images, Will. Usually, when we complain, the photographer is not really listening. What is Maxi? What does it mean, TLDR? Is that Generation C talk for like forum talk? Nope. Too long? Didn't ring. Ah, okay. Yeah, that was forum talk. Yeah, but I'm old. I like Facebook more than Instagram. That's how old I am. Oh shit. I didn't say shit. Shaha, 1 month. L'Oreal image for China. It was a job that Pratik gave me because he couldn't take it, and I did the beauty hair part and Carrie Beam did the product part. But the job was such a pain in the ass that Carrie gave up on the corrections. Pretty much said, "Yeah, not doing that. I'm not dealing with you people." And so my business partner ended up doing the product part of the corrections. That was a very long month. L'Oreal, Natalia. L'Oreal. They had no issues with paying for every correction, like on the go, by the hour. Like they didn't care. They needed the changes and they paid for them. It was a very important image for the agency. Okay, so what I was saying before, if you do the before and after and you have less texture, it's wrong. If you do the before and after and you have more texture, it's right. So some things like this, I don't want to do it here because I rather do it with dodging and burning. So as long as I'm doing this part, cute. By the way, can you see me? It's too far. Okay. Wow, it's hot. Send me a friend request, but let me know which one is your user because I have like 50 pending friend requests, so I'm not gonna find yours. Sí, te va a llevar una semana. Sorry, I'm answering to Peppy Touch. Sí, es un re buen ejercicio. Agarrar una imagen y retocarla enteramente con curvas, no con dodge and burn, con curvas. O sea, solo usar curvas. Te va a llevar muchísimo tiempo terminarla. O sea, estoy hablando de una semana, laburando 6 horas al día. Pero cuando terminas de hacer esa imagen, trabajar con curvas te va a parecer una pavada. Te ayuda a entender el funcionamiento de la luz en la textura, te ayuda a entender el funcionamiento de las curvas, te ayuda a entender cómo funciona el RGB en las correcciones de color. O sea, aprendes un toque, un montón, solo con un ejercicio. Lo que pasa es que te lleva mucho tiempo. Everything is completely stopped. Like no company's doing anything. And honestly, I don't wanna be working. I'd rather be doing this, like for fun. Because my kid is home, I have to clean and cook. I don't think I could handle work right now. And lucky for me, before this pandemia thing started, I had just done a campaign for Spotify and another campaign for Henkel. Okay, bye bye, Paola. Now, just for the record, being someone's teacher made me feel really old. Between the not knowing the blog lingo, the chat lingo, and being someone's teacher's teacher, shit. Well, my kid is gonna vote in 3 years, so that's it. I'm old. I didn't say shit. I need a beeper, something that beeps every time I curse. Oh, you're horrible. That was mean. Wait, did you buy it or did you download it from I remember that I'm from South America, so most people who ask me about the DVD and they were from like Latin American countries or poor countries, I would say, well, you can buy it in this link, but I'm sure that if you like look for it, you can find it on torrents. The worst business person ever. Tum, tum, tururururu, tum. En Taringa estuvo 2 meses después y yo estaba súper orgullosa. I don't like it. I did too much. And that's because I was doing it too close. Wait. Or maybe I can. Yeah. I'm trying to see what I'm missing. Let me see it full. No, it just needs a lot more dodging and burning. Ooh, I'm in 20. Yeah, tell me about it. I had to clone that live with people watching. In the thumbnail, it didn't look so detailed. And the one you have is pretty much half the size of the original. So it was even bigger detail. By the way, Will, next time the makeup artist says, oh, let's not use concealer, let's just use... Yeah, no, just cover the bitch face with product. Come on. The retoucher said he would sue me next time. Okay. Okay, so she doesn't have a break. She needs a fake one. She needs something breaking the highlight, right? It's weird that she doesn't have it. The highlight just joins the lip. It makes no sense. So I need to fake it. Bum 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 bum. No, it's the opposite of carving actually, because carving is exaggerating the shape that you already have, and what I'm going to be doing is the exact opposite. I'm just going to create a shape that is not there. I'm not sure it's gonna work, by the way. It's not that, yeah, this is gonna work for sure, it's gonna look awesome. No, I'm just gonna try and see if it works. If not, I have to start over and think of another way. Dum 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 dum. Well, I don't prefer anything. I like to have enough pixels for whatever the output is. The difference is not megapixels. The difference is the size of the sensor, and I always like bigger sensors. That sounded really kinky, but yeah, in cameras the bigger the better. It's not my work that I don't like. It's this. It's the highlight going up to the lip, and I don't like that either because it looks like a mustache. That's the shadow. Shit. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna paint it and see if it will work. What I'm trying to do. I think the cheekbone would look really high if I did that. Oh, sorry, I'm painting. I'm painting to see what is bothering me about this highlight. Hmm. How much can I change the light? Show highlight. Okay, now bring it back. That works better in shape, right? In terms of shape. What do you guys think? I don't like that. I don't like this either, but I don't like the highlight going all the way down. What do you think? Okay, I'm gonna leave it here today. Tomorrow I'm gonna see how I can fix that highlight. Or maybe I can, because my idea wasn't to do the 3 images. I mean, I'm sure Will is happy, but I was thinking of doing one and only do the color of the other 2 as a story. Yeah, but it's not only about changing the light. When you're doing a job like this, okay, so look at this. Can you see how the texture in the shadow and the texture in the highlight is not the same? Wait, train. So, I was saying, texture in the shadow and texture in the highlight is not the same. It's not only about changing the light. I need to retexture that part as if it was a shadow. So, I need to think about it and see how I'm gonna like do it. It's tricky. But I do like the shape like this a lot better. What do you think, Will? I do this often when I'm trying to shape something that I don't like in the image, like a nose, for example. I literally painted with the skin tones to see how it would look, because I'm not gonna do it right and waste like an hour and then realize, oh, it doesn't look good. So I first painted and then I decide if I want to do it or not. But I think a bit more light. So you actually wanted this highlight. Okay, that could work. What do you think? Because I don't like this. The highlight around the nose, I really don't like it. Okay, I'll decide tomorrow during the day. Anyway, do you have any questions? I have everything in one hand. Did you enjoy it today? You gonna be here tomorrow? Okay, so I'm gonna go do some shopping and then wash my hands like crazy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna give the link just in case to the file that I finished. Okay, have a good evening. Bye bye.